Welcome to Aussie Afterlife podcast. This episode, well, all the other episodes and anything I've possibly said ever contains explicit language, so not for younger listeners unless you're an actual cool parent, or for those without a sense of humour. So remember to grab your headphones for the paranormal investigation episodes, and you also get to listen to my voice super close to your ear. So that could be good or bad or both. I don't really know, but anyway. But what I want you to do is grab a drink, relax, and enjoy. And come into my version of the afterlife. Could be heaven, hell, purgatory. It's probably hell, but what of it? Enjoy. Well, welcome back to Aussie Afterlife. This will technically be episode 66, and I've been on a little brain break. You guys remember my brain breaks? Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like whenever I have leave from work is when I should be ultimately podcast proactive and just be like smashing it out. But no, as soon as I lose any kind of structure to my life, I just buffer like, I just buffer. Like I literally spent 3 weeks just like, well, what now? It was lovely and restful. And I end up working so much to the point where I'm like, I need time off. And then I ended up taking like a week or two and I'm like, I need an extra week. So I had 3 weeks off. But probably by like 1.5 weeks, I was like, I probably should have gone back because I literally just buffered. I've had no motivation to do anything. I was just like, the kid's like, can we go to the supermarket? I'm like, can't we just DoorDash this shit? I'm like, I've actually got to get changed out of my pajamas. I'm just like, as soon as I'm at work, I'm just like, go. It's fine. Like, and now I've been back at work a week and now all of a sudden I've had a strike of creativity and whatnot. So brain break over. Sam back. But anyway, so it will be episode 66, but I'm thinking this will be a little mini series, mini episodes. I was thinking a lot about my neurodivergent self and all my different little, hobbies and hyperfixations I've had over the years. Well, one popped in my mind today as I was taking my son and his friend for his 14th birthday down to Melbourne to the go-karts, which is another story. But I was like, I forgot about that. I was completely obsessed with urban legends. So like your American urban legends, so many, the hook, the guy with the hook for a hand, heaps of shit. Anyway, so I'm so excited. I was so obsessed when I was younger. Like I'm talking hyperfixation. I was probably like 11 or 12 and I think we had Google. I think we did, but however, I found them all on the internet and I just used to read them consistently. I just loved them because I watched the movie and I loved urban legend, the movie. So I thought, well, why shouldn't I retell those urban legends in my own creative storytelling way? Yeah, so I don't know how it might roll. I might just do one urban legend episode. We'll see how long it goes for because I kind of really want to delve into the story a little bit too and maybe give a slight backstory into maybe where the urban legend had originated from, because that's the beauty about urban legends. No one knows if they're true, accurate, where they came from. It's purely just things that have been handed down years after years after years, and they've just been kind of adapted and changed. They're also realistic to the point where they could be true. But they've fascinated so many people. They fascinated me as a young girl, and I feel as a storyteller, I am so excited to do this. I literally had thought about it today and I'm like, I'm getting back on the potty because I'm like, the podcast, not the potty, like not the shitter, but yeah, the podcast. Because I was sitting there like literally just like, I don't know what to do. Like, well, the creative strikes back. But anyway, but yeah, been on 3 weeks leave, been back for a week. It's been really good. As I said, buffering, like, don't know what the hell I was doing, but I really don't know what I did. If you ask me what I did, I'm like, nothing. Like I literally was just like, I don't know. Like my house isn't any cleaner. I didn't train the dog any more than I probably should have. Like, I didn't really watch any shows. So if you ask me what I did, I've got fucking nothing for you. But yesterday, my son turned 14, so big 14. And then today I took, my daughter and me, God, I got bad English. My son and his friend went with my daughter and myself to the go-karts in Melbourne in Moorabbin, which is, Power Play or something. It's really cool. Go and do it. I didn't. I just watched because Eden didn't want to do it, but I have done it before. I was a nutcase on this. Oh, I loved it. It was great. But anyway, so on the way back, I was like, okay, guys, pick some songs, put some shit on the queue. And they thought they were being real funny by I'll just read, I'm not going to read a lot of it out because it's so inappropriate to the point they were doing it to get a rise out of me. And I'm like, you guys don't know young Sammie, do you? Anyway, so there was a song called 4 Big Guys. So it was like, 4 big guys, they grab on my thighs, blow up my guts like the 4th of July. Anyway, let's not. And the other songs I don't really want to go into at all because I'll get cancelled or shot in the face. But anyway, so they thought they were being real funny, and I'm just like, you guys love just stirring me up. And they're like, hee, like laughing in the back seat, like literally like, hee, like little 14, 15-year-old kid. I'm just like, whatever. I'm like, fine, and play that game, bitch. I wound my windows down and I pumped that so loud. They were dying. They were just like, you can't do it. And I'm like, I can't play this. I'm like, this is your song. These are your songs. So I even went through the Macca's drive-through with it playing, and they were like literally mortified and dying. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, no fuck with Sammie, because I used to do that shit for fun. Like me and my friend used to just drive around with like porn playing just for the loud moans, because we thought it was funny at the time. We were literally like 18, 19. It still is. But and by the time you drove past, no one knew it hit them. But anyway, let's get on to the urban legend. So this episode, I would really love to focus on a very, very, very famous and my most favourite urban legend that I've ever heard. And it's simply titled The Hook. So grab a drink, relax and enjoy. And remember, kids, your parents have done it all before, but probably worse. Enjoy. This episode, we are leaving Australia behind and we're heading to the United States, the birthplace of many of my all-time favourite urban legends. But what exactly is an urban legend? An urban legend is a story that's presented as true, often involving bizarre, terrifying, or unexplained events, but without any reliable evidence to support it. No one can ever originate where these stories came from. But these stories have spread through word of mouth, newspapers, chain emails, internet forums, and now social media. But they change a little bit with every retelling. They endure because they tap into our fears, our curiosity, and our desire to believe that maybe, just maybe, they're true. Urban legends are more than just spooky stories. They are a reflection of society. They reveal what people fear, what they value, and what they want to warn others about. Throughout history, these tales have acted as modern folklore, teaching lessons, reinforcing social norms, and giving shape to anxieties that are difficult to explain. Many of the classic American urban legends that became popular during the 1950s, 60s, and 70s carried an underlying moral message. As attitudes towards dating and teenage independence began to change, stories emerged, warning young people about the dangers of breaking social expectations. Folklorists have often interpreted them as cautionary tales about premarital sex, teenage rebellion, and the perceived risks of stepping outside social boundaries. Whether people believe them literally or not, these stories reflected the cultural anxieties of their time. That ability to evolve is what makes urban legends so fascinating. Each generation reshapes them to match its own fears. Yesterday, it was lonely highways and escaped killers. Today, it's cursed websites, sinister strangers online, and unsettling stories that spread across social media in a matter of hours. The details change, but the purpose remains the same. To make us question what's real, warn us about the unknown, and leave us wondering long after the story ends. So, join me as we go to America and we explore some of my favourite urban legends that have absolutely fascinated me and terrified me since I was a young girl. I can't wait to share these with you, and I really hope you love my retelling and my reimagining of these, but obviously staying true to the original. Every town has its warning. Some tell you not to swim in the old quarry. Others tell you never to whistle after midnight. But for decades, teenagers across America have heard one story whispered at sleepovers, around campfires, and during late night drives. It's a story about young love and passion and an escaped mental patient and the sound of metal scraping against steel. This is the urban legend of the Hook. This is set in Ashbrook, West Virginia, in October 1988. Emma Lawson was 19 years old and counting the days until she left Ashbrook forever. The small mountain town had never felt like home. Her mother had died when she was a child, and Emma was raised by her father, Sheriff David Lawson, a respected but overprotective man who believed that there were some places that should simply be left alone. And that was especially Black Hollow Road. To Emma, it was just another lonely country road where teenagers escape their parents just for a little privacy, a bit of kissing, a little bit of fondling and whatever. But to her father, it was trouble waiting to happen. Noah Carter had known Emma since kindergarten. They'd been best friends before becoming high school sweethearts, and now with Emma leaving for college in 2 weeks, every moment together felt precious and incredibly horny. For weeks, they'd planned one last drive to Lovers Point, a scenic overlook at the end of Black Hollow Road where generations of young couples had simply just watched the stars and all that kind of stuff and probably fucked. But anyway, Noah almost cancelled. Not because he believed the stories, but because of the news. As Emma climbed into Noah's pickup truck, Sheriff Lawson stepped onto the porch. "Be home by midnight." Emma smiled. "Dad, I'm 19. "I know." His smile faded. "And stay away from Black Hollow Road." She exchanged an amused glance with Noah. "Well, that's exactly where everyone's going tonight." Her dad's expression didn't change. "I'm serious." The drive out of town was peaceful. Windows down, the cool autumn air, the radio playing soft rock between bursts of static. Emma rested her head against Noah's shoulder. This is perfect. Then the music stopped. A calm newsreader replaced it. Authorities continue to search for an escaped patient from the Black Hill Ridge State Hospital. The patient, 43-year-old Arthur Grady, was committed after a series of violent attacks nearly 15 years ago. Grady lost his right hand in an industrial accident before his arrest, and he wears a heavy steel hook in its place. Residents are urged to remain indoors and report any suspicious activity immediately. Authorities believe that Grady may be hiding somewhere in Ashbrook County. The broadcast ended. Music returned as though nothing would happen. Emma laughed nervously. Great timing. 20 minutes later, they pulled into Lovers Point. The overlook was empty. Moonlight stretched across the valley below the trees while they swayed gently in the October breeze. God, this place is beautiful. So Emma stepped outside. She snapped photographs while Noah leaned against the truck. Eventually, she climbed back inside. The heater hummed softly. The windows began to fog. For a while, there was only quiet conversation, shared laughter, giggles, plans for the future, dreams bigger than Ashbrook. Then, something echoed between the trees. A metallic... Emma looked towards the woods. What was that? Noah listened. Nothing. It's probably just a gate swinging. But Emma wasn't convinced. A few minutes passed, then another sound. It was closer this time. Metal dragging over something hard. Emma wrapped her arms around herself. I don't like this. Noah looked out into the darkness. It's probably just an animal, but animals don't sound like that. The radio suddenly cracked. Static filled the cab. Then the newsreader's voice returned. Police believe that the escaped patient may be travelling on foot near Black Hollow Road. And then static swallowed the rest. Emma reached for Noah's hand. I think we should go. And he nodded immediately. Yeah, no argument here. As Noah started the truck, the engine stalled. Once, twice, finally, it roared to life. Neither of them noticed a dark silhouette standing among the trees, watching, perfectly still. They sped down Black Hollow Road without saying much. Only after reaching the bright lights of the town did they finally laugh. God, we scared ourselves over an old news report, Noah said. Emma smiled with relief. I know. So they parked beneath the nearest diner lights. They were safe, they were warm, normal again. Noah walked around to open Emma's door. He reached for the handle and froze. Hanging from it, swinging gentle in the cool night air, was a heavy steel hook. Fresh scratches ran down the passenger door where it had scraped against the paint. Emma, she stepped out slowly. What is it? He couldn't answer. He simply pointed, and the hook swayed once, twice. Neither of them ever heard anyone approach. Neither of them saw anyone leave. If they had stayed at Lover's Point, if they had waited a few minutes longer, if Noah hadn't finally listened to when Emma said they should leave, that hook might not have been hanging from the door. It might have been reaching through it. Sheriff Lawson never said, "I told you so." He simply looked at the hook, sealed inside an evidence bag. No fingerprints, no blood, no trace of Arthur Grady, despite the largest manhunt in the country history. The escaped patient was never found. Some say he died in the woods, others believed he escaped to another state. But every Halloween, teenagers still drive to Lover's Point. And every year, someone swears they hear the sound of the metal scraping through the darkness. Whether the story happened in West Virginia, Texas, California, or somewhere closer to home, it depends on who's telling it. It's the nature of urban legends. The names change, the towns change, the details fade, but one image remains the same. A lonely lover's lane, an escaped madman, and a steel hook hanging from a car door, reminding us that sometimes the smartest decision you'll ever make is deciding to pull out and leave. Yeah. Wow, that was my very first mini episode on my favorite urban legends, and that was, of course, titled The Hook. So if you have any other urban legends that you'd like me to explore or reimagine, please email me aussieafterlife@outlook.com or get in touch with me via my Instagram at Aussie Afterlife. But as I said, I've hyperfixated for years on this shit, so I've got plenty. And I'm hoping to release these episodes a lot more frequent, as this is a lot less emotional and spiritual toll on me, rather than having to, review like a lot of audio, which I will be doing, but I just want a bit of a break from that. But I love urban legends, and I hope you guys do too. So let's keep it going. My paranormal investigations will be back at some point. But yeah, I like to keep it fresh, keep you guys on your toes. But anyway, I hope to hear from you all soon. Have a safe week. Goodbye.